Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? I know the Acilio enjoyers are probably in shambles right now, but that's fine. So yeah, we got new BNR, which is pretty exciting. Actually today, since we got some unbans as well, I actually wanted to kind of try to revisit Jarl. We'll talk a little bit more about Jarl and I guess like where he kind of sits right now. Rootbound definitely a pretty big buff for him, but like doesn't really help, I guess, his like kind of position in the meta. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the ban list. So we got Channel Lightning Valley banned, Electromagnetic Somersault, Phantom Tidemaw, which is a really interesting one, Reaping Blade, Skyward Serenade, and Volzar. So interesting set of bans. So Volt, like the two, I guess like, or I guess there's probably like three Acilio bans, right? It's like Somersault, CLV, Volzar. That's pretty rough. So these take place on May 28th. That means that roughly we have like 2 months basically with Basilio, which is kind of interesting. So my prediction is that like CLV and Electromagnetic Somersault, I feel like we're kind of on the chopping block for a pretty long time. Being able to like block 6 with just like an instant from your hand was like pretty gross, and then also just like CLV getting you like additional card draw was also kind of disgusting. But yeah, we also are getting Volzar banned, which makes me think that they're probably going to reprint some Volzar in some capacity probably in the next set. That's at least my prediction. And then Serenade and Reaping Blade seem like maybe just preemptive Aurora nerfs. Reaping Blade just overall probably solidly good. Like I imagine like the new weapon might just replace Reaping Blade. That was kind of my thought. Yuto is in tears, poor guy. Oh no. How bad is the Yuto crash out? Let me know. But yeah, that's pretty rough. Like, I feel like losing like 3 of probably your best cards in the deck feels pretty rough, especially like when you only have like 2 more months to kind of like play with like the version of the deck that you're kind of familiar with. But that being said, I think there's probably going to be like quite a bit of Acilio support, maybe just printed into the set. So like maybe it's not actually that big of a deal. I could see it like actually being fine if like Acilio gets a bunch of new tools, and then like the old tools kind of like are like some of the old tools are still around, but like the old tools that I guess were like problematic get banned. So I feel like the Acilio bans make sense. Now the one ban that I'm a little bit curious about is Phantom Tidemaw. So I don't know if people remember this card, but let me actually go ahead and bring it up. So Phantom Tidemaw. So this one was really interesting. So I think this was printed back for Enigma, but Enigma never really played this because it was basically like word 1 and kind of just like went contradictory to your game plan. So this is basically like a phantasm attack that like stacks every time you like play an aura. So this to me like signifies that like Ziggy might be like playing out like a ton of auras at a time, or like bouncing them like back and forth. So I can kind of see like why this got banned. It kind of feels like a talk a big game ban, like where they're like banning it preemptively because they realized there was like problem development. But the funny part about this card, I guess, also the art on this card is really sick. But like the funny part about this card is like never really saw competitive play, so it feels like they're having like a lot of like issues, I guess, with the card pool in terms of like they don't know like in the future, I guess, like how these cards are gonna interact with like heroes in the pipeline, I guess. Which is pretty interesting. I haven't seen a crash out yet, but check the Acilio Discord chat. I can only assume and speculate. Oh no. I'm sure there's gonna be a funny YouTube video about that. But anyways, so we actually got 2 unbans as well. So we got Scepter of Pain and Rootbound. So I don't actually know how much Scepter of Pain is gonna matter. Could be like another tool for Vincent, which is interesting. I know this card's like still pretty good, but like I feel like Vincent's like pretty happy with Flail, and they also like the new like Grimoire as well. So like having this be like the second offhand slot seems kind of weird, but like maybe it's like semi reasonable. I don't know. I don't feel like this is actually making like that big of an impact in Vincent, but like I could be proven wrong. You could also like have like maybe Aurora place this in the sideboard or something. Like there's definitely a lot of options. And then we also got Rootbound Carapace unbanned. So when we saw this, actually, a lot of the Jarl players basically kind of got together and started trying to cook up some Jarl decks. So I actually want to kind of share my Jarl deck. So I've kind of been cooking like kind of more of like an Earth focused build, and I'll kind of like talk through some of the choices. But a lot of this is kind of like modeled off of the previous Earth list. That being said, we do have access to Rootbound Carapace now, so like this Earth Shell is like definitely a lot better than I think like the Ice Shell at this point. Like having access to Rootbound, I think is like a huge buff for the deck. But yeah, I'll kind of talk through the deck. So nothing like too out of the ordinary. The one card that I do want to talk about is Rippleway. So um, the one issue that I think this deck is gonna probably have into the upcoming meta. So like feels like you have pretty good game to like Marionette and like maybe some of the other kind of like decks in the format. But Victor I think is like the biggest issue. So figuring out how and if you can be Victor with this deck is like kind of the biggest question because if this deck can't be Victor and Victor is like one of the higher represented portions of the meta, then like I think that this deck will probably just kind of fall second fiddle to Victor if that makes sense. But yeah, overall I think like this deck did get a little bit better. And I think that this matchup does like or this deck does kind of prey on some of the things that Victor is like a little bit softer to. So like a little bit better into Gravy, a little bit better into what's the other hero that I was thinking of? Hold on, sorry. Let me pull up my notes because I think I like a little bit better into hold on. Let me pull up the message. So better into like probably Valda, I think it is. Teklo, I think was the other big one. So Teklo has actually kind of been rearing its like head out a bit. So if you're at like if you have like decent game into Teklo, that could be kind of interesting. Although I kind of question how much game you like actually really have into Teklo because they have so many Evos they can play out now. But yeah, we're gonna go and give it a try. So I haven't played Jarl in probably like a pretty long time just because we've been doing a lot of Marlin stuff on the channel, but I've kind of had the itch to like play something that's not Marlin. I think like this should be a fun deck. So and then we'll kind of talk about the sideboard. So just pummels, fiddler screens. So these are mostly for Marionette, but like I think you can just run these in the fact deck plan. And then I actually like the two remembrances just with all the huntsmen also running around. So I think these two kind of do help into like the more fatiguing matchups. And then I was also kind of toying with the idea between Barkskin and Tunic. So I think like there's some matchups where you like just don't care about Pummel, in which case you can probably board in the Barkskin just for a little bit extra block. I don't know which exact matchups those are. It's like matchups where you don't want to run Sledge and you don't also want to run Pummel, which is kind of weird. So like I don't know actually which heroes that would actually fall into, but I guess we're gonna figure out together. Maybe there's like a pretty strong argument for actually just cutting the Barkskin entirely. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and play it, give it a shot. I also got to run my Sledge because I got the gold foil Sledge as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and give it a shot. I also was talking with Rob about Shield Beater, so I feel like a lot of Jarls that I've seen recently have been running Shield Beater, and like I think this card is just like kind of bad. Like even if you're running Tunic, like having to pay extra resources, like not having like a one card play in some decks feels like really weak to me. And I kind of like just having like a little hammer just for like having the ability to like block with like 3 cards and still send damage. I think is really appealing to me. But yeah, let me go ahead and catch up on chat. Shield Beater has felt awful for me. So I was talking to Rob about this, and Rob's like my go-to Jarl expert, and he does not like Shield Beater. So we're gonna go ahead and just run like the little hammer as well as the Sledge. I think it does like stress your sideboard slots like a little bit more. Like yeah, like I think a lot of the decks are running like mono Shield Beater, but I don't know. This card just like is bad. I think the card's kind of bad. But anyways, let's go ahead and give it a shot, see how it goes. It just feels like in a lot of matchups, like you don't really want to be just sending the Shield Beater, which is kind of awkward. All right, let's go. Lobby. All right. Let me clear this up. That was a recording from the Ziggy video. All right, default game. Let's do it. Oh, I need to put chat open on this one. There we go. Oh, chat's still a little bit over. Hold on. Might need to adjust this a little bit. Oh, might be a little bit too small, but I'll work on like that. All right, let's try that for now. All right, playing against a Marionette. I think this is a Sledge matchup. At least the last time I checked it was. Now let's go ahead and bring in the Reacts, bring in the Fiddlers, maybe like 1 Remembrance. I also do kind of like the Staunch as well. Maybe we'll do like a 2 Pummel. But yeah, I think this is going to be a long one, so I like the Tunic and the Sledge. Maybe this is like too much for Marionette, though. I feel like Marionettes will try to fat deck you, though, so I think this seems like semi-reasonable. Okay, so let me go switch to streamer mode. Maybe you're like... nope. Streamer mode broken. Unlucky. Streamer mode. Where is it? Streamer mode. Oh, there we go. Okay, fixed it. Sometimes I have to like click it twice, which is kind of weird. All right. Oh, take these scoops. Okay, this perfect opportunity to actually fix the streamer mode. Oh, also chat went away. Hold on. I'm too addicted to Sludge from Terra. Me too, me too. All right, let's go to card. Shrink that a little bit. That up, and then bring this down. Whoa. All right, doing alive. There we go. What's the way? In the backside, which is what this stream overlay conveniently is. Then let's do little. I like showing the card for y'all just in case people, I don't know. A lot of people don't like remember cards all the time, so like having it up is, I feel like, pretty helpful. Smidge. Well, so close. Might need to stay like. There we go. No. All right, slightly off center, but whatever. We will persevere. Might fiddle with it while we try to get in the game. Oh. Yeah, Sludge addiction is real. Oh, perfect opportunity. So this is one of the rougher matchups that we are going to probably have to deal with. Do I have a first or second of this? I feel like second's still probably fine. All right, bring in the Sledge. So we want to be aggro into Victor. So let's bring in the Remembrances, bring in the Pummels, and then I think we want to cut like 2 cards here. I want to run like basically as close to a lean 60 as possible here. So maybe we can cut like 1 plow, and then what else do we want to cut? Like 1 colors is fine. Like I just want to go to like basically 60 cards. Staunch is also kind of reasonable. But like we're not trying to fatigue Victor. I think you need to like kill Victor first cycle. So let's actually see how this goes. I could see the Staunches also being good and like just running like a little bit of fat deck, but I feel like it's kind of appealing just going to like functionally 60 cards, if that makes sense. We'll try it and kind of see how it goes. All right, they're running Shield Beater and Helm of Hindsight. Let's try this, put target attack action card for your graveyard on top of your deck. Okay, so they can like kind of fix their clashes that way. Interesting. Let's go and block with 1 Oakenold here. It feels awkward like leaking 2, but holding on to Oakenold turn 0 seems pretty alright. Notably, they did pitch a Staunch, so wherever they want to arsenal here is presumably better than Staunch. And CNC too. So very interesting. All right, let's go ahead and this. The funny thing is we can actually remembrance back this 2 Oakenolds if we really want to. Let me see if I can. All right, that's actually perfect. Cool. All right, I fixed it. Oasis, and then what is the arsenal here? Notably, they don't have Tunic with the tech plating, so they do have to like play quick dodge kind of like fairly. All right, lots of D-Rex here. I think here I'm just fine like shuffling the 2 Oakenolds back. It's kind of like bad, but it's also kind of like good. I don't know. Like we're losing like 1 value off the Remembrance, but we're putting in like a lot more powerful cards in the deck. And we have the Pummel here, but it's a little early. Yeah, the Elemental Strike is not doing a ton. I guess we could just like pummel them for damage, which is not the worst thing in the world. All right, but hey everyone, welcome in. How's everyone doing?
What?
I know Tegan's being apparently driven crazy by Philip right now. Oh no, we're playing the yellow block slot version of Victor. Oh my god, we're playing Terra. Crazy. Let's go ahead and try to pummel this just to push a little bit of damage. I think is fine. Oh, we got Cat Cam already early on screen?
I don't think he's doing anything bad. He's just... don't trust him.
Don't trust him.
He's untrustworthy.
He is a little untrustworthy. Right, so it seems like they're also not really fat decking all that much, which is interesting given that they're running like the yellow 4 blocks. What do I want to do here? Kind of tempted to just go for like a tear on the Sledge. Probably like the highest value play. We do have that bigger token, which is pretty helpful. Get rid of the CNC, hold on to the Pulse. I think that makes sense. This at least might buy armor or react or something, so seems alright. Oh, you got cat cam? Yeah, cat cam early. He left, but that's okay. Alright, looks like we got our crowded. Sync, sure. Alright, so I'm hoping that, so we are running 3 ripples in the stack. I'm hoping that we can try to line up the ripples away with their like bigger turns. This is kind of interesting. I almost want to go ahead and just use the pulse here. Like, I want to like almost IP with this and just try to turn them off their first one. Although that being said, like they might not even be running visit. Like they only have the aura mages for the first gold, so like stopping the gold I guess isn't that high of a priority. Interesting to think about. Let's go and give them. I guess we have tunics, so we may just give them 1 ripple. I guess we are putting 1 back, but like maybe we don't actually care all that much about their visits for at least a little bit. Like maybe we can just try to second cycle the ripples. We'll see how this goes. I'm not fully confident. We did just see a remembrance and pitch, so like they could also just be trying to do like the Omega, like Victor, like quad visit or whatever. Or like the 12 visits or something crazy like that. Yeah, this matchup's kind of scary. Alright, so there's 1 visit and pitch, which means they're probably going to try to stack it. There's a ripple again. So I guess the ripple that we pitch should line up pretty nicely with that visit. That's at least good. Let's go ahead and maybe just try to clear this pulse out of our arsenal. Kind of interesting. Seems like they're pretty committed to blocking. It's fair. Oh, we don't even have decompose yet. That is notably. Okay, let's go ahead and just pitch it then. Lots of reacts out of this. So this is like, I don't know if I've ever seen like a variant. I've seen like a similar variant of Victor to this, but not like exactly the same. Let's go ahead and maybe just get our first Earth in the bin, I think, though. Let's go ahead and just Everbloom. We can put our E-Strike in the deck, send a little bit more damage. At least the nice part is they aren't really sending much in terms of damage, so like we can just pitch stack the ripples or maybe like use the other remembrance to shuffle the other ripple back in. Like, hey, that's actually kind of fine. We did lose a counter on our crown, but not the end of the. Let's go ahead and pitch the fruits. High current currency. Fair enough. All right, so we do need to be careful. Oh, this is what they're playing. Right. We actually need to be really careful about our tunic this game, like not actually using our tunic. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of a thing we got to play around. So we could banish 1 Everbloom and just try to pummel a Plounder, which I think is fine. Almost rather like pitch stack the pummels though if we can help it. But I think it's like just too clean to do that here. It also gets our decompose fueled. So I think I know what kind of deck they're playing now. They're playing like basically like the fatigue version of Victor that's also running like high current currency. It's pretty neat. So this just means we can basically never safely use our tunic this game. Very cool. Alright, we do have another Oaken, which we can just safely resolve here, so might as well just go ahead and take it. We do still need a little bit more Earth for the felling, but that's not the end of the world. And we do connect with the Oaken, which is at least good. But yeah, the gold pile here is definitely a little bit concerning. Oh, they got double back-to-back hiker. Okay, we might be done this game. Okay, so that's actually an important thing to note, is to like never use your tunic in this matchup if you're seeing your Victor opponent like just play like full fatigue. I guess this is like a learning experience though, at least. But this seems like Omega Curse with the high currents. Definitely depends, I guess, how many remembrances they're on. But I'm not particularly hopeful here. There's our first visit. Unfortunate. Okay, so we know they're on like 2 or 3 remembrances too. So this might be like super lost cause. That being said, we do, I guess, have Felling, Okino buyback, but like, is it enough, I guess? Oh, we don't even have Felling yet, do we? I guess we can like at least like play this out. Yeah, this might be like a super lost cause though. Right. Ooh, Pang with Rich is also pretty. So we can buy back the 2 Okinols in the Ripple, which is kind of interesting. So we might as well. I mean, that's basically about as good of remembrances as you can like kind of normally. There's 1 Ripple. So we can at least play this to stop the gold this turn, but be too little too late. Oh, and they can't wait, they didn't even use their might token. Huh. Well, I guess we can just Everbloom this now. Let's put back, I guess, our E-Strike, and then go for Felling, then we're kind of losing like a little bit of value. Yeah, just pitching the Sludge here. Super awkward. Oh boy, they have a 3rd Remembrance on top. Okay, I don't know if we're ever winning this game. Yeah, this might be a rough one. I don't know if you can really even out aggro Victor with like this variant of the list. But we can at least stave off a little bit of the damage. So let's go ahead and block. No, maybe we want to save our Okinold, or do we? 1 Okinold gone. I think that's probably fine. Gonna just tank a little bit of the damage, but High Currents might have done us in pretty well. So we can't use our Tunic ever this game, I think. That being said, I think the damage has largely been done, though. Like, they probably only have, like, 1 left at max. So let's get our Imposing. But yeah, pushing the damage here is going to be pretty rough. I will say that I don't think, like, all Victor lists are probably built like this. This seems like kind of like its own thing, but, like, maybe Victor looks do kind of converge on something like this. I've seen, like, a lot more Victor lists that are kind of like Tech for the Mirror, where they're, like, a bit more aggressive. But yeah, let's see. So Fruits, or we could Sledge and then Arsenal the Felling. Like, maybe we want to save the Felling for a little bit later. One Ripple gone. All right, we tie on the Clash. Sure. Yeah, having access to 6 gold with the or they made 4 gold off the current. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Do you decline 2 to counter? Oh wait, actually, I think you can, right? You may put an energy. Oh, interesting. Maybe I actually should have done that after the first high current. Hmm. That actually would have been a pretty good play, right? So we could have like left this on 0 for the entire game. Fascinating. All right, there's the first remembrance down, but we still have a couple more to go. So let's go ahead and just E-Strike this then. I think we just need to keep hitting them pretty hard here with the Fellings. We can. But yeah, we're just not really pushing the damage, I don't think, here. Earth, Earth, in action. All right, there's the last high current, I guess. So now our Tunic is kind of safe-ish. But they're back up to 35 now, which is pretty rough. The nice thing here is we can IP with the Ripple if we want it, which I think is fine. We can like Arsenal. No, I guess we don't even Arsenal Frozen Death. I guess we just pitch a Sledge in this case. What are they putting on top here? Put target attack action card for your graveyard on top of your deck. Put like a Wallop on top, or like a Golden Sun or something. Interesting. So notably, you can't ripple away riches. Not funny. All right, Golden Sun on. Oh, Golden Sun on top, so that they win the wager. That makes sense. Actually, that would stop the gold, but I think we want to try to stop it on the visit, I guess. Weird. We do notably still have one pummel left in the deck, so if we could maybe hit them with the juicy CNC, then we could maybe get back in this game, but we're still probably pretty dead. We'll see, though. Let's do... CLF seemed annoying for them last time, so I might just do it again. Yeah, let's try to IP with this Ripple and see what that does. But this matchup seems like kind of like the reason that you can't play this deck right now. Things change all the time, though. Like, if Victor kind of goes down in popularity, then maybe this gets a little bit better. Alright, so we can counter this if we want to, which would give them 7 mites. Seems pretty good. Alright, we'll go for it, though. But yeah, like, even with the ripples, it seems just, like, kind of untenable. Let's go for the CNC here. Let's make them work for it a little bit. Alright, so important to note, if you see your Victor opponent on the Terra slot blocks, probably try to play around the high current. Oh, we get to destroy my token. Classic misplay. That's pretty good. I will take what I can get here. Alright, super close to pummeling the Okanold here, but not quite. Yeah, I think this is where we start kind of losing the game. So we can save off a bit of damage, but I kind of want to, like... can we just, like, pummel a felling at them and hope that does the job? I don't know if that's good enough. Like, we get blocked with the Oaken. So how many Okens do we have left? We have one more Oaken. Maybe we just need to draw towards the other Oaken and just, like, play efficiently here. But I think we're probably cooked regardless here. Sigil. Yup. They do have the decomp here. We don't have any more remembrances in the deck, so we kind of just have to play with what we got. How many visits do they have in the graveyard now? 2 visits? Okay, interesting. Hmm. Okay, we got Heart 2. Seems pretty good. Going in for 15. So let's go ahead and take 10 here. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad. Power. Yeah, I just don't think we're able to really pressure them before they can really do kind of whatever it is they want to do here. We could have also, like, maybe tried to pitch stack the Terra Senders and, like, the pummels a little bit better. No answer to that. Yep, seems good. Right, there's the third remember, or second remember. So they still have 3 more visits. Oh boy. Yeah. This is a good one to start the stream off on. I guess we were just talking about this. Shield Beater, yep. Only coming for 5 this time. I guess we can pummel. Air Sunder does not work this hand, right? So we can at bare minimum pummel the colors of Arya. Is that even good enough though? Probably not. Oh, we can take a little bit of damage here. Also, let me make sure that chat's still enabled. Sorry if I missed anyone. Okay, cool. Oh boy. Alright, colors. Do your thing. So I think we want to try Arsenal with Terra Sunder just so we can try to keep them off the visit, but they still have, like, just a ton of armor to work with. Alright, we'll go for the pummel here since I think they're mostly out of reacts, it seems like. They might have, like, Oasis still left, though. Yeah, it might be too little too late. Alright, we got a root bounce. Visit, yup. Oh boy. Yeah, if this version of Victor becomes, like, the meta, like, I think this deck is, like, actually unplayable, unfortunately. Alright. Coming in for 16, seems fair, seems balanced. Let's do... I want to start giving them a little bit of armor. We can't root bound and decompose at least. Earth action. I guess Terra Sunder. No, Terra Sunder theoretically doesn't do anything, right? Because they can. Well, the quick dodge would take a card out of hand. So I guess maybe it's like fine. Maybe I pitch check my disruption like a little bit better. Maybe that was like the answer. But they can also just kind of afford to eat the Terra Sunder here as well. Seems pretty good. And they still have like one more remembrance. Strategic planning. Put an action card with 1 cost or less from your graveyard on the bottom of its owner's deck at the beginning of grand phase. Draw a card. Oh my god, that's like the 4th remembrance basically. Crazy. So we need to block or we. So let's do this, this. Yep. I guess we can also just walk around if not, but at least the next turn they don't have all the might tokens set up, so they have to like wait one more turn. They could just like double visit us there here though. Like how many do they actually have? Let's see. They still have one more, so they could have theoretically. I guess we can do like E-Strike into Sledge, but I still don't think that's good enough. Oh boy. Alright, go again. So I think, okay, we did actually learn a couple things from this game. First is to be careful with your tunic counter. Second is to not play against Victor. And then the third is that Visit the Golden Main State and Remembrance are broken card. Yikes. Alright, I think they got us here. I will graciously concede. I think we also still have the third Remembrance to worry. Oh, they just like had the third Remembrance in hand, so I don't think there's any way we're winning that, right? They could have just done it for 2, but yeah. Making 14 gold seems pretty good. I'm kind of curious what else did they have in the deck. So we ran them like, I guess we still have like 4 more visits left to deal with. Yeah, seems pretty rough. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can get a non-Victor game, because I think that like maybe this matchup's just like, I think even with like a normal Victor deck, like that matchup just seems like real bad. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Again, I think if there was, I wonder if there's like any other way we can kind of think of to interact with Victor. But let's see. Like in my mind, I think Ripple Away is probably like the strongest card, but like even like Ripple Away doesn't do much against like tons of visits, right? Okay, got a Vincent. So Vincent, I think we're just gonna bring in the sinks. I think go like 2 pummel. And then let's bring in our AB. Tunic seems fine. I guess Pummel's kind of bad against Vincent, right? Because they have base Purgatory. Yeah, maybe we'll just run the AB1. Stalagmite, Redwood. Maybe like 1 Remembrance just in case. I think that seems fine. We could also go 2 Remembrance if we're like worried that they're going to try to fatigue us. Let's try that instead, maybe. It looks like they're on like 63. Interesting. Okay, it broke my overlay again. So the way I figure out how to fix this is to like unclick streamer mode, reclick streamer mode, click caster mode, unclick. Okay, try my best here. Okay, tiny card wants to stay tiny. Yeah, I'm fine just putting Everbloom in the yard. Let me see if I can. It's so finicky. We're close. Let me refresh me though. Refresh. Stream remote. Caster mode. Stream remote. One of these will work. Well, okay. Talisher UI. Easy. Let's go ahead. You just like fruits play out crumble Arsenal to Felling here. That seems fine. We could also just get the imposing out of our hand if we wanted to, which is I think also reasonable if we just want to like ditch the crumble. It does use like +1 card in deck, but I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and get rid of Nick, I guess. I don't think it matters a ton. Oh, it came back. Okay, interesting. I have no idea when that happened. Oh. Huh. I have no idea what like makes the art on the Talasher screen change. Or maybe it just like takes a while to kick in or something. I have no idea. All right, what we got? So we got Eloquent Eulogy and then a Deathly Wail. So they need like one more rune chain if they want to play the Deathly. So kind of curious what they're gonna do here. Oh, I know. Did I break it again? Shit. Let's see. All right, I guess I have to fiddle with it some more. All right, I guess refreshing also messes with it. Huh. All right, I'm gonna see if I can like pay attention for when it comes back. Maybe it's when someone plays a card. If you're gonna blow something up against Finn, I think it's Creepers before Tunic for what it's worth. Really caps our action points. Oh, that's good information. I was torn between these two. Like, I guess it doesn't make any sense to put it on Vexing and base for Purgatory. Okay, so sure, I think we're gonna go ahead and just let them pass here. That's what they want. You see it play. Okay, playing out the card is actually what does it. Okay, interesting. But I guess we can do this, and then we have tons of earth in the bin. We could just like double fruits if we wanted to. The only issue is this does leave us without the target earth or elemental. Oh wait, we actually hold on. I think we actually should play Sotomaro first, right? Play Sotomaro, we put like Everbloom, or no, we put like fruits on the bottom, then we banish, right? Because that will give us like full decomp. Huh. I have a weird line, but I think that makes sense. Kind of nasty. It's pretty spicy. All right, so we do fruits. Everbloom I think can stay, crumble, imposing. Oh, but this. Oh wait, actually, sorry. Hold on. We need to actually do all earth. We do. We have to do all earth cards if we want to pump it all the way up, which I think is reasonable. I mean, also just gets us online. Get the full 8 on like turn 2 is pretty sweet. Blowing up Tunic stops free envelop creepers, so not bad, of course. Oh, that's fair. I think if you're like a Vincent player, maybe that's something, or like if you have like a lot more reps on Vincent, maybe that's better. But I've also not played Jarl in a while, so probably on me. But yeah, I think conceptually that makes sense. Like you're kind of treating this almost like scabs or something. But I feel like against like Reiner even, I don't really blow up their scabs all that much. Okay, so we got the colors. E-Strike. I feel like E-Strike into colors if we wanted to. Important thing about colors is that it does not fuse with Oakenold. If it did, that would be very exciting. I think I'm gonna try to bait out their face Purgatory, maybe. Seems like they're trying to set up for like a super wide combo turn here. That's at least what this reads like to me. If they do go for face Purgatory on this, we can just like Arsenal one of these two. I don't know how much the Remembrance is actually in this game. I feel like they really need like the Malefics though. Let's go ahead and just pitch away the Remembrance here, I think. I don't think there's any real incentive like hold on to it, and pitching the colors actually does give us the +1 for the earth. Pretty cool. Yeah, the Volzar ban's gonna be really interesting. I know a lot of people are kind of bummed about like the CLV ban, which I think is reasonable.
It's good Volzar.
Tegan in the background says good Volzar's band.
It's hilarious. It's one of the funniest things that ever happened.
Go ahead and fix this actually. Like a little black thing on the top. Oh. Name cover. I had like originally like on the OBS like a little cover for people's names, but I don't think that's really necessary when you're in streamer mode. I do miss like seeing people's names. Sometimes. Like some people do have pretty funny names in Talishar, but like I guess it also kind of like avoids the like pretty egregious ones. Alright, so they have officially set up 4 cards in the bin. They do have these fasting carcasses, so next red action card you place turn gets go again, go again. They could banish those with like deep recess if they wanted it to. Huh. We do have like frozen to death to blow up their tunic counter next turn if we want to do that. Seems like kind of low value though. I don't know if we're dying like from 45 against them though. Maybe we are. I feel like they got a lot of work to do. But maybe like these two are part of the setup with like deep recess. Kind of see that. Because I think they can play this right. So they banish this, they play this. The next red action card you play this turn. So it's like you kind of get a like a source of go again in the banish zone, which is pretty good. Interesting here. Okay, so we're coming in for 4 total. Not stop this for enchant. Oh, this is coming for 5 because of the shadow puppetry. So let's skip all the rune chants here. I think I might want to just give them a stalagmite charge. Mostly just to play around succumb if we can kind of help it. Try to do this, I think. Pull tunic, maybe try to play out succumb instant speed or something. They could also just be playing out like Malefic Pass or something. Also reasonable. But yeah, I think you're probably right, Eleanor, that I probably should have put it on the creepers there. They can also Deathly Delight if they want here. Is it even good though? Okay, they got Revel. It's not bad. It's like Revel into... Okay, they don't want to play the Deep Recesses yet. Interesting. So I think in this case, I kind of just want to block out. Like, I don't really care about keeping in the hand to just, like, blow up their tunic, I don't think. Especially when they just used it. I think I'm just going to play the slow game here. They do notably still have the Vexing, so, like, we don't have, like, infinite time, but, like, we still got plenty of time. They are clearing out their banish, which means they're, like, not setting up for, like, a super, super wide turn here. Carcass not playable from banish despite... Oh, it's not playable from banish. Oh, sorry. I'm so used to cards being playable from banish. Right, because these have Rune Gate, which like specifically says is playable from banish. Yes. Sorry, that's my streamer brain failing me. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. So go ahead and just pass back to them. Again, they do still have the 2 Blood Dead kind of just chilling here. Ripple Away is also kind of funny against Vincent. I feel like there's been a lot of Ripple Away running around. Just made Marlon's life a bit harder, like Gravy's life a bit harder, Victor's life. Like, this card is like getting pretty popular, I feel like. We could just go ahead and use Tunic Counter to just get rid of this, which I think is reasonable. Here, let's go ahead and just pull Tunic just to pay the Rune Champ. And then we could do... they could Creepers if they wanted to here. I think that's like a huge deal, though. I think I'll just go and give them 5 here. So the Creeper's in a succumb. How sad are we? Not really that sad. That's fine. Yeah, Ripple Away is pretty rough against a lot of decks, I feel like. Feels like it has been pretty bad. Like Marlin, you can kind of play around it. Ooh, we got a pummel. Okay, sure. I think this is fine. So that's good info, at least for the rest of their deck. So let's go ahead and put it. We could also just play out the crumble, but the crumble's not doing too much. I mean, I guess we could just put the put on the creepers now if we really want to. I feel like more likely than not, we're probably just sending 4 or 5 though. 5 value seems a little bit better than crumble, if I'm being honest. Hummel Vincent is a Silver Age. I mean, I've seen like some of it, but like, I don't think June was on Pummel, right? Like, I feel like it's been quite a favor for a bit. At least it seems. Maybe they're just running like 1 or 2 Pummels for like fatigue or something. I think that's also kind of reasonable. All right. So we got them down by 20 points, but they still have some blood debt set up. I guess the question is like, how fast are they going to be able to clear this? I mean, I guess it's like kind of hand dependent. They haven't seen like a single Malefic or anything really yet. I do have our first Coal. Interesting. I mean, for what it's worth, they do still have like all their equipment. Just for Sturge. I feel like they have like a lot of Rune Chant generation still kind of stuck in their deck. Alright. Get the Coal. Not the end of the world here. Unless it's like second Coal, which would be a little annoying, but not that bad. We'll just go ahead and give up the Plow Under here. Oh, it seems like they're just going to pass. Okay, interesting. Let's just go ahead and hit them with the Felling here. Some people are on a spicy 1 or 2 for fatigue. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Like, maybe not running it like main deck, but just like a sideboard card. Seems reasonable. Let's go ahead and finish this. We have 1 Remembrance, or we have like 2 Remembrance. Maybe we'll leave the Felling there. Something like that. I feel like we pressured their life total pretty hard here, though. I don't know if they're gonna get like enough space to really like just play everything out. I guess we'll see. But if they don't block here, they're gonna start getting into hammer range, which I guess they still have creepers in purgatory for. Kind of an interesting spot from them. Again, I'm kind of happy that we're not seeing any Malefics, because that means like I don't know if they're gonna get time to actually like play them out or anything. Just purg makes sense. So deal 5 more points of damage somehow. Alright, this is not a particularly good Vincent hand, but probably acceptable. You still have Tunic up, so we have to be like a little bit careful. We could very well die from the spot, but like it's gonna be hard to clear out all that blood debt this turn. Let's see. I feel like the Felling was definitely probably pretty rough for them. Oh no, I broke the card again. They'll come back. We're just in baby card mode. Also, I don't know if anyone heard the stream intro music, but we got Melora to actually write some like a little like kind of like Flesh and Bad kind of intro for the stream. I don't know if people heard it at the beginning, but I think it's pretty sweet. We'll probably play it again. I'll try to like set it up like maybe like 10 minutes at a time or something like that, like maybe like 5 or 6. But yeah, pretty dope. We got like Wilson getting sampled in there. Okay. I think they're thinking through how to kill me here, but I don't know how possible. Huh. They would need like multiple sources of Gogan, right? It's good information that you told me this, Eleanor, that you can't play this out of Banish. Okay, so there's Shadow Puppetry. And it tracks. So I think if I Stalagmite this, they're not going to be able to play out everything, right? Like, assuming that this card is some action that they maybe want to, like, represent or something. So I feel like this is probably a Stalagmite turn to put them pretty low. I feel like we want to, like, sink to try to find a blue. Maybe hold on to 1 or 2 cards, depending on what they want to try to send. Let's go ahead and just give them this here. So, skip the Rune Chance. I guess Succumb would be one of the ways that they could get the action point. Oh, does Creepers actually work on Cull? Creepers, put a bind counter next turn. No, they can already play this as an instant, so that doesn't actually work. I believe so. Okay, so I think the play here is going to be Stalagmite plus Well Grounded, and then we let the 1 prevention float, and then we sink below, try to find a blue, ideally. If we don't find a blue, that's also not the end of the world. Oh, we could actually just hold on to these 2. I forgot that this is just like the combo, right? We could also sink below something. I guess there's also no real incentive to well grounded this just yet. Go ahead and sink, and then maybe just keep the sink, honestly. Let's go ahead and keep the sink and just see what happens. Interesting. So they do let the puppetry go. You can also just like let the sink below get banished to Cull, which is also pretty likely, I feel like. It looks like they're just going to send the Eulogy, so pitching widespread. So it looks like they're kind of playing around the Frostbite there, which is smart. But yeah, now we'd probably just play around the Cull, which I imagine they probably want to clear so that they don't die. So we banish Sink below, and then we send Elemental Strike for Dominate, and that should be game. Seems good. Hey, Root, how's it going? We're doing some Yarlin. We quickly demonstrated in the first game that the Victor matchup is very cursed, especially when your opponent's on like high current currency. That card's like messed up in Victor. Holy crap. So it looks like, oh, they can Cull and then play the widespread. That's actually kind of... But still is like not enough damage, right? I guess we could have played around that. So let's go ahead and banish Sink. Hit us for like another 8 here. Maybe a little more if they want it. Interesting. Sure. Okay, they can deep recess now. They can deep recess a pullback, so I guess we block. Huh. You get action points from Cull plus elements from usually. Yeah, they can Cull again is the only issue. Or did they banish a Cull? Wait, this is when the when the common chain closes, you may banish this face down. If you do, for each hero is lost life this turn, banish a card from the graveyard. So you can banish a card from their graveyard. So we need to block this. Which is fine though. Because like they're still used most of their resources here. It's a pretty cool turn, but I don't know if it's really enough. I mean, I guess we'll see. They do have like a little bit set. They did clear their banish pretty well. Oh, they don't even want to flip anything up because they're pretty low. I think that's fair. I think it's going pretty well though. Where's Wilson?
He's over there. It's under your desk.
Let me see if I can grab him.
I'll be needed.
Okay. Wilson. Alright, it's Wilson time. Oh, okay. Got Wilson. Let's see what's up. Alright, they're activating. What are they doing? Finishing a Deathly Bow. How real do you think Earth Jarl is now? Does Root Pound help a lot? So Jarl's biggest problem right now is probably Victor. I think if you can figure out the Victor matchup, which I think is like just terrible, then like maybe you have a shot, or if like Victor like kind of drops out of the meta, then like maybe he's a little bit better. But like I think Victor is like your number one issue, and I feel like Teklo is also not like I have to like practice Teklo a little bit more. That also seems kind of problematic, I feel like. Maybe the Teklo matchup's still fine, but like it seems like it's maybe gotten worse. Just with like how many new Evos they have, they can kind of just like sandbag the base ones. Yeah, Teklo seems like it's also maybe kind of bad. But we got Wilson. Wilson's pretty good. Hello, Wilson. Okay. So we got our Rune Chant. I'm going to take that one. So it looks like they probably just want to play out the widespread just to clear it from Banish. So I think we're just taking another turn off here. Sure. So let's go ahead and just banish the Autumn's Touch here. Yeah, the Teklo matchup seems surprisingly not great, which is also probably a bad sign for this deck. But the Root Band unban does help. I will say that. Or at least makes the Earth stuff a little bit more viable. Wilson's also very viable. Hey, buddy. He's just hanging out. All right, Wilson, what are we doing? We can well-grounded double block. Not sure. Or we can single block. I guess we can still root bound then. It's fine. All right, banish, banish. Hold Wilson. Hey, buddy. Let you down now. Wilson doesn't like being on stream. Very unfortunate. But yeah, Teklo also does not seem like it's very pretty for this deck. Like, I'd say Teklo and Victor are probably your two biggest issues. But I guess, like, Victor's issue is also Teklo, which is kind of funny. So, like, maybe everyone's just got issues right now. Maybe that's what I'm learning. I guess we can go ahead and just kind of soak up a bit of this damage here. Again, they are all out of Rune Chant generation at this point, so it shouldn't be too bad. Like, I imagine next turn they're probably just going to take a setup turn, and then we're kind of chilling. I don't want to attack into them in case they have, like, reduce or something. Like, I'd rather just kind of, like, full block from this position. Banning the signature weapon before LLing feels weird, no. Yeah, Tegan's very happy about that, but I know a lot of people are not happy about that.
It's funny.
It's funny. So, like, I think what they're probably likely going to do with Volzar is just try to, like, reprint it, but make it, like, a little bit more balanced. Like, I don't think that that card should ever have, like, reduced the cost of itself. I think that was maybe, like, a core design issue. That seems like maybe their core issue with it. Like, just having, like, a 0 for 10 on a weapon seems kind of busted. But what do I know? I'm not a game dev. What I am predicting is that there's probably going to be an alternative for it. Like, that's the only kind of explanation, is that you can probably play regular Broscillio with a new card. But we'll have to see. You know, not a guaranteed thing, but my assumption is that they're probably going to just reprint the weapon with, like, a different kind of stat line on it. So excuse me 1 second, I gotta blow my nose quick. Okay, got a pick, that's good. So this is the setup turn that they probably wanted to go for, or that we were kind of waiting for. So I'm gonna try to punish this, I think, with this does not make Rune Chance in and of itself, so the ripples aren't super helpful here. I guess the ripple is gonna be brutal starter their next turn though, which is kind of funny. So let's go ahead and just play out the plow here. I guess there's no real reason to decomp. Could have also played out the CNC, I guess, for what it's worth. Maybe that was actually slightly better in case they just had, like, react here. Yeah, I probably should have thought about them more than not at all. But I think I'm still gonna probably just ripple like first thing next turn. Although this is start at the beginning of your action phase. I don't know if I can I respond to this? It's hold full control just in case, but I'm not actually sure. They move the full control. Full control. There we go. Let's try this. Okay, you can't respond to this. Cool. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do because I imagine it's probably gonna hurt their turn pretty bad. Yeah, so let's make sure we're holding full control. I don't know if we actually need full control. But we'll do it just in case. Alright, so Banish to Deathly. Now this is on the stack. Let's go ahead and just play this. This is at least getting 2 value, right? From the Malefic and that. Another Malefic. So it basically just stopped the... That actually killed them, right? Lamau. Because now they don't have the extra rune chant. Unlucky, unlucky. But yeah, I feel like the Ripple Aways does not... like, I feel like everyone in the meta is like kind of running this card in some capacity, and it feels like they're pretty rough, especially for like some of the decks in Format, like Vincent. I think who else they're pretty rough for. Well, Donnie, we didn't have to wait long for them to die to Blood Death, but I appreciate that. Oh, I also have 4 spectators. For very interesting. Maybe Rob is watching me from above. Yeah, I think this deck is like pretty reasonable. It just does feel like some like Victor and Teklo seem like the 2 kind of open questions to me. All right, playing against Broscillio, I think this is one where we're going to be a little bit more aggressive. So let's go and run the pummels, give them a good luck, have fun. I don't think we want anything else, right? We're just going to run the main 60 and just run it as is. Yep, seems good. Yeah, it's also good versus Mario. Good versus Marlin, Gravy. Can be good depending on who you're playing against Victor. Oh, we're playing against Spellacilio. Maybe getting a jump on the ban list here.
They still got Volzar.
They still got Volzar, which is not nothing. Let's go ahead and overpitch the Plow here. I think I'm just going to put this Everbloom in the yard just to gain a little bit of life padding because this is not necessarily a fatigue matchup. Alright, so we still want to kind of play the disruptive game here. Unfortunately, we don't really have the hand to do that, though. I think I'm just going to probably just send this Natty Oakenold. We can Earth Fuse it if we want. It's fine. Good BM, at least. They are coping for ban, lol. Also possible. I mean, like, I could see the Acilio deck like going in this direction with like the Sigil Fates and stuff. But yeah, I've heard like some whispers that like maybe Acilio can still like kind of do some things like with just like Storm Striders, but like losing the Gone Flash combo seems like pretty rough. Yeah, if they go in like an all like spells direction, that could be kind of interesting. I don't know though. I'm not kind of fully expecting that. Alright, they have 6 sigils of Fade Out, which is terrifying. A sigil of Temporal Manipulation. Oh, I guess that's actually pretty good with the sigils, right? Because you just get like a free card draw off the top. Okay, I think they're cooking here something. What exactly they're cooking, we'll find out, but like, okay, yeah, I mean, Aether Bindings plus a million sigils seems pretty good. Oh boy, is this going to be one of the... Oh, I want to pass prayer. Well, this is very exciting. Did not have this on my expectation for Cilio Brews, but it seems pretty spicy at least. This is bottoming. Be cooler without Gone Flash, but yeah, very different deck. So I don't know how easily we're going to be able to fuel the graveyard here, especially if we're going to be pitching most of the stuff. I don't actually know how many attacks this deck's run. We'll see. Yeah, just casual op 6. Seems pretty good. Alright, they're topping the card. They're also amping 7, which is very fair. Okay, Aether Flare. Yeah. Terrifying. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and pay 3. I guess we're like probably gonna pitch away this root bound anyways. I don't know. That seemed like a good turn. It seemed like a pretty good turn. Let's go ahead and maybe just we can pay 1 or we can pay 3 here. I guess we can also pay 2. Maybe that's actually the best bet is to just throw Honest Touch. I guess for what it's worth, we did get their Aether Bindings out of the way, but like, holy shit. That was a pretty good turn. Top 6, deal 17 unblockable damage. Too bad. Just casual 19 arcane, yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, this is an interesting. I wonder if like the deck is actually gonna like pivot to kind of more of the style, but I don't think there's any real reason to like pivot to it just yet. Does that feel better or worse than Gone Flash? I'm undecided on that. I guess if I had to say, maybe slightly better, but I don't know. That also kind of felt pretty rough. We also have 3 of a kind here, which is funny. Might as well pay. Sigil Fade, Sigil Tempo. Yeah, this does feel very cool for what it's worth. Cool, very cool for an Acilio deck. I think this is like maybe a pretty bad matchup though. Seeing some weird decks on Talasher tonight. I guess that this at least like buys card plus like Flash of Brilliance maybe. I know this deck is like sometimes on D-Reacts though. At least like the couple times I've seen it. Let's see what they got here. I know comparatively a lot of people are skimping on AB against Gone Flash Acilio. This will probably punish that behavior. That's fair. For what it's worth, we're not skimping on AB. Like we got AB3, we got our well grounded. So
I run no AB.
Oh, as gravy?
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
There's no reason to.
Yeah. Like I feel like if you have a plan that can race Acilio, like you probably don't need to really run AB, but like we're not really a deck that can do that. Okay, Burn Bear off the top. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, Scorched Rose. We're having a game here. Very, very exciting. Most Slayers I know think this version is worse, but it is pretty fun. Like it seems like it's actually doing like fairly well into us right now. Like they also get the strike twices, which are pretty disgusting. Pretty good. I think they also probably have snapback in this deck, right? Yeah, I think we're just getting like absolutely cooked here. This pummel's also not very good. Oh, I guess we can just elemental strike, but we still don't have the earth for it. Unlucky. I guess we can still just like pitch. Yeah, so let's go and banish our colors. I guess this does fully turn on the elemental strike, which is very funny. Bounce temporal, banish, burn bear, pitch temporal to play it. Nasty, yeah. They've had some really disgusting turns here. I almost want to hold on to the pummel, but I don't think I can really afford to. I'm just overpitch it for now. But yeah, I feel like they've almost like exclusively played on my turn up until this point. I guess except for the one Aether player. I feel like this is what Acilio like. I feel like this is like a cooler variation of Acilio, so I feel like the Acilio dooming is like maybe a little bit premature, but we'll see. Alright, looks like they don't have anything on my turn. It's nice. Alright, we do have fruits to finally get our felling out of our arsenal, but still don't have like the full felling though. Not super exciting. Let's go ahead and pay 2 here. I think we might still be kind of cooked here. Oh, and snapback 2 Gs. I don't even know if we can afford to play this felling. I guess we lose like 1 life by discarding the fruits as opposed to pitching it. Yeah, I guess we still kind of have to do this, but I think we're in pretty bad shape here. Yeah, let's go ahead and felling. I have high suspicions though that we're probably gonna die this turn. For what it's worth, I think they had just like the nuts Aether Flare turn. Like, I don't know how consistently that deck can actually do that. Maybe it is pretty consistent. We'll kind of take a look and see how much like sigil generation they have, but I feel like they kind of just hit it super early. Or just had it like line up in a very cool way. Kind of crazy. Oh, Scorch Rose, did you finally see the Aether Flare turn? That turn was like nasty. We basically took like 17 unblockable damage. Pretty nuts. Alright, let's see if we're dead here. I'm kind of assuming we are. Yeah, they saw both future sights back. Are they only running 2? I imagine they're probably running 3 maybe. But I also have no idea. See how it goes. Alright, banish. They're probably on 3, you think? We'll see after this game. But yeah, I think another problem, I guess, is that like we didn't just get our well grounded turned on very easily. It's entirely possible we just like didn't see our enablers this game. Maybe that was kind of the issue. I'm still high from knowing Acilio won't have Volzar for Nats. Yeah, I think Tegan is in the same boat. Tegan's very excited.
I mean, I didn't qualify for Nats, but
Yeah.
I'm just kind of being a hater.
Yeah, Tegan's just a massive hater. Oh my god, Absorb. Oh, we're like mega dead. Unless they don't have anything here. Okay, they don't have anything. Well, that's very fortunate for us. This is like maybe doable with the Everbloom now. They brick like hard here. I think we can maybe do it. Let's go ahead. So how do we want to sequence this? I want to play the E-Strike. I want to play the Everbloom. I don't know if I can do everything though without dying. We could try to not get greedy and just play the Everbloom into felling and then try to Arsenal the Plow. I feel like that's like the least greedy line. Just try to take cards out of their hand. And then like sandbag AB in case they go for Striders. I gotta refresh 1 second. I won my RTN and I'm full of Acilio hate. That's fair.
I hate Acilio.
Tegan also is a Acilio hater.
I cannot fucking stand this.
Did you all like the thumbnail? The Volzar
Aren't.
that took me all of like 5 minutes to put together. Also, it looks like Tasha might have crapped a bit. Let's see. F. Oh no. I'm seeing the F's pile up in Tasha chat. That's always a bad sign. Oh no. More time? Alright, while we wait for Talishar, let's talk about how much we hate Acilio. Who wants to share first? I actually don't think I hate Acilio all that much. I feel like I just hate the high roll more than anything, right? I feel like CLV high roll was just like always kind of a toxic thing. Like playing it out, like let's say you go second, right? And your Acilio opponent just like plays it out. Or no, sorry, you're going first, your Acilio opponent's going second, and then they just like play out CLV on the end of turn. Alright, looks like it came back, so that's good. Alright, let's go ahead and start with the Everbloom. The high roll I think is the worst part. Like I'm kind of like okay with the play patterns, kinda ish. I guess sure I'll give them a painful. Let's go ahead and just felling. We did felling, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's do felling, and then just sandbag the plow under for next turn. Could have gone a little bit more aggressive with the E-Strike if we wanted to, but I feel like we're kind of at risk of dying. I'm worried about the Storm Striders mostly. We do have our well-grounded turned on, which is pretty nice. So we're kind of functionally sitting at like 13. I feel like Broscillio can do cool stuff when the deck doesn't do the absurd combo super early. Yeah, I feel like that was like the biggest feels bad. It's just like, oh, they found combo super early and I died. Like that's kind of lame. Looks like the card you still. Let's see. Oh no, it had it fixed. All right, cool. Okay, Absorbent Aether fixed. All right, Absorbent Aether also a little scary, but if they don't have anything here, fine. Okay, don't have anything. That's good for me. Okay, they're just kind of bricking back to back, which I think is a good sign for us. I guess we can't plow yet. We might as well just go for CNC here. Maybe I'm gonna overpitch the colors here just to see if we can try to find like an Oaken or something. That seems reasonable. I sent almost 30 damage turn 2 with Disruption and still lost. And I had an Amulet out. I hate Broscillio, almost quit playing after that one. Oh no. How did people feel about the lack of draft in the major tournaments? The lack of draft in the major tournaments recently. Streaming wise, I'm sure it's more efficient all rounds to be constructed. I do miss draft. I think that's one thing that I liked about Magic a bit more. Is just like I feel like the draft environment was. I'm not saying like the Fab Draft is bad or anything. I actually quite like Fab Draft, but like it feels like some of the sets are kind of hit or miss, which I guess like Magic sets are also kind of hit or miss. So I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I wish I do want Fab Draft to come back. I think actually the new set will probably be a decent. I guess we're I guess we're giving them a consign to Cosmos back. I don't really want to be giving those, but I don't know if it actually matters at this point. So let's go ahead, allow them here. I think that seems fine. But yeah, I probably need to stop selecting the stupid Modern Everbloom. Yeah, High Seas Draft was a lot of fun. Like, I think the Fab Draft is, I think, a lot more fun than Magic Draft. I think the one thing about, like, I have a couple of complaints about Fab Draft specifically. Like, I think that Fab Draft historically is like punish you for like switching lanes pretty frequently. So like it feels like in Fab Draft you kind of have to like have a plan locked in by end of pack 1, and it feels like switching off of that at like end of pack 1 leaves you without playables, which feels really weird. I don't know. I feel like I wish there was more like open lanes with Fab Draft. I think that's like my biggest complaint. But I think they're like continuously getting better at it. I think the only like real miss on Fab Draft recently was like Hunted, right? As somebody who mostly spectates Fab, I feel like Draft was my place to see all the new commons and rares actually do something, whereas like construction streams, you mainly see the new M's and L's. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's reasonable. Do I want to even arsenal anything here? I'm going to skip. But yeah, I do miss Draft a lot. I feel like Fab Draft is a lot of fun, especially if you like haven't played it. I feel like we might as well just like cash in the well grounded. I don't really see a reason not to. Sure, go ahead and just do it now. My worry is if I sit on the well grounded, like I'm worried that they're gonna like respond to it, and then I could be in a bit of trouble. So I'm gonna just do that for now, and then let's go ahead and pitch like bottoms tier, and maybe just go for the dominate on the elemental strike. I guess we can arsenal the visage, although I'm probably not gonna play it. I wish I qualified for Nats this year so I could have played High Seas Draft. Playing High Seas Draft at Nats was actually a lot of fun. I regrettably drafted Gravy when I was like not super comfortable doing it, but like I still had a lot of fun playing it at least. Like I played against Chris Iali and he like told me how to like build my deck a little bit better, which was very funny. I also does Jarl suck? Yeah, kind of. Jarl has issues. It's like Marlin, but I feel like Marlin's actually maybe even a little bit better than Jarl right now. Like it feels like Jarl doesn't have like a very strong niche in the meta. I think that's like his biggest issue right now. I drafted Fatigue Marlin every time. So the deck I was trying to draft was like the Redline Marlin, but that deck was like really hard to get all the cards for. But that was like the most fun deck for me was playing that one. I enjoyed that deck a lot. We might actually be in that bad a shape here, by the way. It seems like they're kind of having trouble closing the game from this spot, but we'll see. I think Euro has an identity. It's just like the identity is not very strong right now. It feels like, like you have like the Icing the Earth cards, which are very distinctive, but the issue is like you are kind of doing just like worse things than Victor right now. It kind of feels like, at least that's like what Rob and I were talking about recently. Rob, I, and a couple other just like Jarl people. But it feels like the issue with Jarl is just that like Victor has like just a better end game, and kind of similar with Teklo. Like the Teklo Jarl matchup used to be real bad for Teklo, but now that they have like the base stuff, like they kind of just can play. Like every time you try to go for like a break on their equipment, I think you can just like kind of prevent that. Like good Teklos, I think will be able to play around that. Bravo's greater than Urals we saw this weekend. Oh yeah, it wasn't there like how high ranking was that Bravo? I actually haven't seen that list. What kind of list was the Bravo list? I might try to do that for like an F Tier Fridays or something. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, love me some Bravo. And they got their Thunder Step out, which is also concerning here. Yeah. What does standard Bravo mean? Does that mean just like aggro like Bravo, just like playing like crippling crushes and then like cleansings and stuff, or is that like fatigue Bravo? Because I feel like those two are pretty different. Is Send Big Dominate? Okay, interesting. Fascinating. Huh. That's pretty sick though. Like maybe trying to prey on some of like the kind of slower decks running around. I think we're probably just gonna pull Tunic here. Like pull Tunic, play Rootbound, IP with a blue again. Probably the best bet. Let's go ahead and pay 2 here, pitch the Rootbound. Then I guess we get to play colors, which should give them a Frostbite here. I think we're still dead though. I guess notably we can get rid of the crown if we want to, but might be too little too late. Well, maybe 9 with blue and removables. Okay, interesting. Oh, they're playing Wildfire Lamau. Hey Tegan, you should play this deck.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha X.
XD.
Lol LMAO.
Notably we could have crown there, but I don't think that actually saves us. Yeah. They have just like a really nasty turn, that one Aetherflare turn. I'm kind of curious to see what the rest of their deck was. Give them a good game though. I can see. So did they have another set of that? Okay, they did have another future sight, which we kind of just didn't notice. And then I think they're not running like any attacks at all. Snapback, high voltage seems like this seems like actually pretty alright. I'm catching up on the stream and just saw the part in the Victor game where you ripple away 1 might and 1 gold from estate into CNC instead of Ella Strike, go again into CNC pummel. I was so sad. Oh no, did I miss that? I'm so sorry. I don't know if that changes that Victor game though. Yeah, GG's though. Thanks for entertaining. Oh, were you the Acilio? I think that's a pretty sick deck. That's dope. It's like refreshing to see like a non Ghana Flash like Acilio. But yeah, sorry, J Dedge for missing that. Let's see if we can find someone else other than a Vincent. I want to actually try Teklo and see how like weird this matchup gets. So into Teklo, do we want to go first or second? I think we want to go first. And then bring in the sledge. We just want to try to be as aggro as possible, maybe with like 1 or 2 remembrances. Maybe we got the ripples in this matchup. And then just use these kind of as pitch. Rip Volzar, yeah, for sure. But yeah, good game. Let's go ahead and try this. But yeah, that Acilio deck seems like it might be interesting if the Ghana Flash combo kind of leaves. It's like a little bit slower, so you might run into issues against like aggro decks, but seems pretty good. Alright, so we do have the turn 1 crumble, which would be able to issue with Crumble is obviously that you just play over it, which is annoying. I guess we could just gamble though. I gamble on trying to break this as soon as possible. I guess if we wanted to incentivize them to put equipment over something, we should do it over their arm slot because they want to like normally play over their head, right? Let's do the crumble, I think, on the arm slot. I think that's what I'm feeling. I don't actually know which one's correct here. I mean, we're kind of gambling either way. I kind of wish I knew which base sets they were kind of running. Oh wait, I think we did the wrong. Let's do the arm piece here. I think that makes sense. At least, like, if we're assuming that they're running equal ratios of all of them, which I don't actually know if that's true. I'd actually probably look at a technical list at some point. That'd probably help me figure out how to play against them. Is head not? So my thought with head is that they want to actively like play their blue head out. So if they want to play their blue head out, then they're more likely to play on their head, if that makes sense. So I know the hat does something, but like this is not like a super strong effect. I guess it does banish.
Not bad. What are they talking about?
They're talking about like which slot do I guess put the counter on, the like crumble counter. So like this is my logic for not putting on the head right, is if they want to play this out, then this is gonna just overwrite the counter. That was my logic, because like they actively want to play out this card more than a lot of their other blue. Like if they're like pitching away like a head to like play their arms, I think I'm like more okay with that. But I don't know. I think Tekla is pretty cool. It seems like he's got like a very interesting like niche in the meta, and it's also very good stocks for Marlin, which is kind of funny. I don't know if anyone was also keeping up with the like kind of Marlin developments on the weekend, but we did have 2 in the top 16. So we had Nate from the Marlin testing Discord, as well as Chandler, who was running like a New Horizons build, which is very exciting. We're gonna actually record the Marlin Council video this Wednesday, so probably gonna have a lot to talk about, which is cool. But yeah, that'll be fun. We do also have a dominated CNC pummel here, which I've been kind of ignoring. I think Chandler's deck's really interesting. So basically, like the main development that Chandler had, so like he's doing like the New Horizons package, where basically he has New Horizons going first, and then he's also running like Quiver Rustling Leaves to basically like try to set up like a 2-card arsenal on turn 1 always. So the awkward thing is like there are some scenarios where I think you can't set up a 2-card arsenal, where it's like you need to draw like, so the one downside of this package is basically you also have to run Sift in your main deck. So like Sift is an interesting card. I think it's kind of okay. Like I haven't tried it a lot, so maybe it's a bit better than I'm like giving it credit for. But that's like the main downside of that package, is that you also have to run Sift, which seems awkward. But maybe it's like better than I'm like kind of giving it credit for. But I think here it's kind of awkward regardless. I think let's go ahead and just block with the Plow Under. See what they do. It's pretty different, but it's also pretty the same. Like basically the main swap is between like, so Chandler's theory is basically that you're, instead of running Crown of Dominion, you're basically running extra cards in your main deck to set up that two card arsenal. So I think he basically said it was like 15% of the time, which I don't know if that number is actually true or not, but I assume it's probably true. But he's basically doing that to set up a second arsenal on turn 1, like 85% of the time is what is the stat Heath kind of threw out. I don't know if that's accurate, but it seems pretty reasonable, at least in my brain. So he's basically doing that to try to set up an arsenal, and then basically keeping an extra card on turn 1 is super good. So like you're kind of offsetting the loss of Dominion by having an extra card, and you also get the block value, which is also quite good. But yeah, for Ghost Protocol, I think we're just gonna not block here. It's kind of interesting that they got the chest instead of the arms here. Good evening, Electrum. How's it going? But yeah, that's kind of like the theory behind New Horizons. You're basically doing it only going first, and you're kind of replacing Crown of Dominion. So like there are some trade-offs where you have to like run more cards to like try to set up the arsenal in the main deck, but like you're getting a very powerful effect in the sense that you're setting up a second arsenal. So I think there's a lot of merit to it. I probably have to test it a little bit more. I think Crown Dominion's still pretty viable also. Does Manglo insta kill Shadow Teklo Ultron? Does it? I think it might actually.
Does what?
So Donnie in chat is asking if I mangle a Teklo like the Shadow Teklo.
I believe yes.
Yeah, I believe it
You
does.
also transform your hero.
I think it's like Lord Jaraxxus and Hearthstone. I don't know if there are any Hearthstone heads in chat, but like I don't know if anyone played like way early on, like where you could like sacrificial pack Jaraxxus. Yeah, so I think you can do that, which is very funny. Did I give anyone Hearthstone trauma in the chat? You faced Jaraxxus? Yeah. How you spell Jaraxxus? I think that's not how you spell Jaraxxus.
Aurora will say things about Hearthstone to me, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what she talks about.
All right, we need to find a Frozen pretty quick here. But yeah, sorry if I traumatized anyone with Hearthstone. Time to save that Mangle. Yeah, for sure. Alright, what do I want to do here? So I think we're just kind of blocking and again trying to set up for Frozen. I remember blasting that song in the Discord call when my friend would turn into him. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember someone made like a music video about that or something. Very funny. I used to be very very good at Hearthstone.
Aurora's just good at cards.
Yeah, I'm just kind of good at cards. I think I was like top 10 in the US at one point. Like this was like for a month. This was not like for like an extended period of time. But I did get my what's like the Hearthstone equivalent of LL points? It's like the legendary points or whatever. Someone remind me in the chat, but like yeah, I was actually pretty good at Hearthstone. Oh, off topic, 3D printing is cool. Just don't burn down the rainforest with 3D printing. I think 3D printing is actually really cool technology. I think if you're using it for like just kind of like repairs and stuff like that, but you just gotta be careful about like overprinting and stuff like that. So like there's the hitting legend, and then there's also like the ranked legend. I think I was like number 10 at one point. And I played I think I played like a demon handlock at one point. I just found out we have a local netrunner scene, so that may be my new project. They have full print and play support. Oh, that's pretty sweet. All right, we still need to find our Frozen pretty bad, but they still got a lot of counters out. So maybe it's not too big of a rush. Oh, they're also running the Circuit Breaker. Interesting. Huh. I guess we might as well rebound this. We have plenty of decompose, right? Sure. I'm gonna rebound this and maybe just try to send the colors on our turn. Depends what they go for here. We had a lot of locals who like Netrunner. I've never tried it before. Yeah. Yeah, in Portland, lots of people liked Netrunner. Yeah, Handlock was goated. Yeah. Shout out to the Hearthstone heads in chat who appreciate some good deck building. Firebat recently got back into streaming Hearthstone. Pretty sick. I think I beat Firebat on stream one time. I was yeah. It was Firebat or Brian Kibler. Yeah. Yeah, Firebat was really good. Kibler I also watched a lot of. I don't know if he's still around anymore, but guy, I think there was a guy who was unfortunately named Trump. Like that was his like stream name. I used to watch a ton of his videos. I don't know if does he still have the same name on YouTube. I feel like that might be a little bit of a faux pas now. But that guy was also really good at Hearthstone. A lot of really good players.
I find it interesting how many bad players are not like Magic players.
Yeah. I mean, I was a Magic player still. Yeah, Killer's still great.
Well, I mean, we know a lot of people who are like, oh, I've never played Magic.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we're not talking about evil fascist Trump. We're talking about nice Hearthstone streamer Trump. Alright, need to find Frozen to Death at some point here, but we'll figure that. I guess they still don't have a ton of Evos out. Oh, he's playing Slay the Spire 2 yesterday? That's funny.
Playing Slay the Spire day.
That would be Tegan.
That would be.
I like how Kibler just does his own thing. Kibler used to be really good at like dragon stuff, right? Is he still dragon fanatic? The funny thing is we can actually get well grounded here just to block. But I think we're probably maybe just pitching the Remembrance here to like pulse if they do something next. Okay, so they do have their arm slot, but I guess it doesn't matter at this point. Oh, the Scarab Lord? Wasn't the card like busted? Wait, what was the Scarab Lord? I'll have to like look that up later. Wasn't there wasn't that the one or no, fuck, what was the so I played a lot of decks in Hearthstone. I guess they take our so here by the way. I played a lot of decks in Hearthstone. I played like the infinite combo mage, like the one where you play out Archmage Antonidas with fuck the like the what is that card that like reduces all the cost of cards by one? So someone in chat maybe knows. It's like a little dwarf guy. Does anyone remember? Like he was like an emperor dwarf, I think. Anyways, like there's like a card you play that like reduced the cost of everything by one, and then you just like infinite combo to your opponent. It's pretty sick. Or it wasn't like an infinite combo, it was like a like 40 damage combo or whatever, but like pseudo infinite. But that was really cool. Yeah, Rogue was fun. There are a lot of fun decks in Hearthstone. I think I was like primarily a Warlock player though. I never liked the like aggro Warlock though. I liked like the more like handlock. Oh, Thorson, yeah, I think that's the one. All right, I try to stop talking about Hearthstone because it's kind of like the game like eventually just like went to like complete crap. I just like stopped playing it, but it was like nostalgic for like the little time period I played it. Yeah, Thorson was busted. The card that like you 6 mana, you play it out, and then everything in your hand is like reduced by 1. Pretty gross. All right, so still maybe some hope for Frozen. I don't even know if we need Frozen Death though. They might just like try to kill us before that. We'll see, I guess. Was it Scarab Lord? Hold on, let me like look it up on another tab. Scarab Lord. What is Scarab Lord? Scarab Lord? Hearthstone? Oh, that might have been after my time. I don't recognize that card. Oh. That card seems alright though. Interesting. I know Scarab Lord, the magic card or whatever, the Scarab God. Yeah, we got. Alright, I'll try to remember the CNC pummel here. But yeah, it seems pretty good. Oh my god. Grim Patron was like the most toxic deck, but I played it for a bit. It was like kind of just like the dumbest deck of all time though. Yeah, that was a funny deck. Sorry if I'm alienating anyone who does not know Hearthstone, because it feels like I'm just kind of saying gibberish. That's okay. I wouldn't recommend playing Hearthstone though. The game kind of sucks.
Burr and I are we just like cards.
Yeah, we're just card players.
I used to work at a card.
Tegan, yeah, did used to work at a card store. Card store. I kind of want to almost just get rid of this remembrance here, but it does leave us open to asking War Machine, so maybe we won't do that. They've already used 1 though. I guess they could have more. Anything not gravy but bones goes in one ear, not the other. That's fair enough. Tegan knows a lot about gravy. Okay, so this.
I know we. For some reason, I talk in the Discord about gravy.
So what does this card do?
Frequently.
Wait, they don't have any hyperdrivers out. So this does... Oh, I guess they can, if you boost destroy a card under this shuffle. Okay, so it's like anti-fatigue, I guess. Huh. Alright, I will try to remember to CNC pummel here. Here, I'll even make it... So actually, the funny thing is, so like, normally you don't want to actually be face up when you're doing pummel. Like, you don't want to like telegraph that you're doing pummel, but like, it's actually... This is like a like secret pummel tech. Is like if you overpitch, it actually makes your opponent think you don't have pummel when you do. That's like if you just have 2 cards back, your opponent's like more likely to think you have pummel. But if you're overpitching, that might be like a sign to your opponent that you might not actually have pummel. I feel like this is like more innocent than just like holding 2 cards back for pummel, which is kind of funny. I think I do remember watching a video essay about a Hearthstone card that copied every death effect played before it. Does that ring a bell? Is that Shutterwalk? I think that's Shutterwalk, right? I remember that card vaguely. Okay, but it looks like they're going to play around the pummel, which is fine. Actually, just remembrance back some stuff, right? Got some decent targets. Maybe just hit like Felling, Elemental Strike or something. Shutterwalk was Battle Cries. What was the other one? It was wasn't it one of like the old god things? I don't remember. I don't remember any Hearthstone cards. I'm completely toasted. Shutterwalk was Battle Cries. What was the other one? It was no, I don't think it was Shutter. Was it Shutterwalk? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Shutterwalk. Shutter. No, that was Battle Cries. I think you're right. What was the other one? Wasn't it N'Zoth? N'Zoth Hearthstone? I think it was the other one. Yeah. Yeah, it was N'Zoth. That was the one that did. Yeah, that was the one that did. Oh, you got the effect wrong. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, N'Zoth was pretty cool. We almost had double pummel here, which is kind of funny. Unfortunately, we probably have to get rid of it, though. That's so sad. Oh, we also have Frozen to Death, I guess, which could... I mean, I don't even know if we care about Singularity at this point. I guess we can now, like, Arsenal Frozen if we want. No, we can't double pummel because they have the War Machine, unfortunate. If we had 1,000,000 armor, we could have done that, but unlucky. Let's go for, I guess, another pummel here. That would have been so good. We could keep that. Unlucky. I mean, you can't keep blocking 10 forever, right? One of these days we're gonna get you. Alright, activating Teklo. They don't have a chest yet, which means we can blow this up if we want to. Which at least like gets us kind of safe from Singularity, at least for a little while, if that's what they're playing towards. We'll see. Yeah, unlucky we couldn't resolve the double pummel here. Very sad. Thank you all for stopping by. Appreciate it. Kind of curious on your take. How do you feel versus Fatiguades as Marlin? I actually really like that matchup. I think that matchup's like very good for us. I have not played it a ton since Buy the Book was printed, but I don't know that they're on a ton of Buy the Books to begin with. Also, I'm just going to do this just so we can Arsenal the Frozen. We could also like IP'd and just like Remembrance, but I don't really have a ton of great targets. Yeah, like that's one of those matchups as Marlin where you kind of just have to like play towards the end value game and you'll eventually kind of win. That's what it feels like, at least. Let's go ahead. So we don't have any ice cards, which is unlucky. Let's go ahead and just tear. I feel like that matchup's actually pretty good for us. I mean, I'd be willing to like try it out on stream if anyone was kind of curious, but I've historically felt pretty good in that matchup. If anyone in chat wants to put it to the pesto, I'm more than happy to try it. Like, I've been saying that matchup's been pretty good, but like, you know, matchups change all the time. I played it for the first time tonight. I do think I agree with you, but I kind of want to get the more experience with it. Yeah, I think it's a matchup you probably got to practice a little bit. Like, I probably do have like at least like 20 or so reps, so maybe I feel a little bit more comfortable on it. All right, still no ice card. One of these days we'll frozen test something, but not today. All right, and especially not into a war machine. So it looks like that's just gonna get eaten. No, okay, that's fine though. Yeah, that's fine. Lose the frozen, but it's not the end of the world. I don't think singularity is even really gonna be a factor this game. I guess we'll see. Yeah, a lot of people do assume that Marlin is like bad into fatigue, but she's actually quite good into like non-disruptive fatigue. That's like one thing that I've kind of realized. Oh, sorry. Those still kind of recovering from the flu. Me and Tegan both. Or we feel mostly better now. So back to content. Okay, let's where's my camera? It disappeared. There we go. Back. Yeah, two got top 16 of the calling, so that was Nate and Chandler. Both very good players. Chandler, I think, had the most, I guess, different deck list from like what we're kind of used to. Oh my god, another war machine. Jeez. Backpack war machines are killing me. I guess that's the last one. Fine. So I guess we just give up the Oaken, which is sad here. Tackle is actually doing a pretty good job. I guess we can. Well, the felling is also super awkward. Oh, did two plays also get top 16? I could be wrong. Well, I know two Marlins got top 16 as well. What was the top 16? Out of curiosity. All right, we got our Oaken hit, which is unlucky. We're also getting pretty low here. This boost tackle seems actually quite good. Wonder if I actually maybe needed the sync blows in this matchup, but I was kind of expecting more of the kind of like fatiguey Teklo. Yeah, there are two Marlins in top 16. Very, very cool. Shout out to Nate and Chandler. So Nate was running a bit more of like a Nate build where he's running I think he was running like none of the, or I think he's just running I as a gem. Like no riches, no Ataya. And then he was also running like a lot of just like weird, I think he was running Truce, which is very funny. And then Chandler, I think, was running like the New Horizons going first. Was like the new development from Chandler, which is very cool. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that on Wednesday. So we're gonna record a video with a Marlin. It'll probably be out by Friday this week, I imagine. But Taylor, Nate, Ben, and I are gonna get together and just talk about Marlin some more, which will be very fun. If you could have one wish granted for Marlin, what would it be? That's a good question. Also, I think is Talishar crapping out? Let's see. Yeah, maybe. Unlucky. I think that Tacklo is actually gonna body us there. Maybe fortunate so I don't lose to Teklo on stream. Was the New Horizons a build or a sideboard card depending on if you went first? So actually, it was kind of more of a build. So what Chandler was doing for New Horizons was basically he was only running it if he was going first. And he was also running Sifts and Quiver Rustling Leaves to kind of support it. So basically, he was using Sift to basically like kind of load a card face up in Arsenal. And like there are a lot of cards that also like do that in Marlin already. Like there's Three Oak, there's like Portside, like Tipple. Like there are a couple other cards that can do that as well, just like kind of in the deck. Oh yeah, Damien got 9 wins for 12th pace. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Yeah, Play's best record was 7 wins. Okay, interesting. So yeah, it was kind of more. Chandler was kind of doing more of a build. All right, let's go ahead and pass. There we go. All right, looks like the. All right, Talishar kind of crapped out a little bit there. All right, Tegan's dying. Let's go ahead and just felling them. I assume I have enough Earth, right? Yep. Okay. But yeah, 12 plates with Pleiades still seems pretty good. Like, I think that deck's still pretty real. How do we kill them from this point? Probably need to find another... Did we bottom up pummel at some point? I think we did, right? Kind of worried about the War Machines and the Terminator tanks here. Okay, looks like they did also put another card under the circuit break. That's good. Vanish. Thing. Wait, this is like really... Oh, it's struggling. Alright, this might have to be the last game of the night, mainly because Talishar seems to be struggling here. I can't lie, I've really fallen for the Marlin deck, but also Pirates. Tried a little bit of Puffin recently, and that deck can throw some heat. Yeah, like, Puffin's also really exciting. I think I like, I guess in the order of Pirates I think Pirates like my least, or Puffin's my like least favorite pirate, but I think she's still really cool. Actually, really just like the pirate design in High Seas. Like, it's probably one of my favorite sets recently. I realize this is a Jarl street. No, you're totally fine. Happy to answer some Marlin questions as well, because apparently the Jarl is not going super hot tonight. All right. Yeah, we might. This game might be a lost cause. Let's actually see. Oh yeah, it looks like Nate made a change on the Talishar, so I might have to restart the server here. Maybe this is promising. All right, we might call it for tonight, but yeah. Let's go ahead and go back to, I guess, the Jarl. So this is what I've been kind of working on. I still think that this deck has like a lot of issues though. Like, it feels like Teklo, or let me actually go to the other. Right. So it feels like Teklo is like Teklo and Victor, I think, are the two biggest issues for this deck, and I don't know how bad Teklo is. I imagine it's probably maybe like 50-50 or something. Like, I'd have to test Teklo more. I don't know if we have any Teklo heads in the chat, but have you all kind of like played against Jarl? Kind of curious like what that matchup's actually like. I probably need a little bit more testing data. But yeah, I think this deck's really interesting. I just don't know if we have like the meta position for it yet. Like, it seems like the biggest struggles for this deck are Victor and Teklo, which seem both pretty rough. We got Rotwood Hammer OMG. Sorry, hold on, I cannot read that. OMG High. Yeah, so I know a lot of people have. So we kind of talked about this a little bit pre-stream. But I've kind of fallen off of Shield Beater. So me and Robert were talking about Shield Beater a lot, and I've been talking about this card, but I don't know. This card just seems like so bad to me. Like, in the cards where you want like a one-card play, like stressing your Tunic counter out is like pretty bad. Like, I like to like save Tunic for like your kind of like impactful plays, like Plow Under plus Pummel, or like CNC Pummel, or just even like sending a fouling off like a yellow or something. Like, I think that's like the biggest thing. Another deck where Victor is a bad matchup, the evil intimidating horse strikes again. Yeah, for sure. Like, so I actually don't know how bad Marlin Victor is now. We'd have to like look at like what the more popular Victor lists are. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Shield Beater. I think that having like Big Hammer and Small Hammer is a little bit better. And I also did just get my a gold foil, so got a rep Sledge, I guess, in the sideboard. But this is what I've been kind of working on as something that's like maybe something that's like close for Nats, although Nats is like still pretty decent ways away, so maybe like the deck probably changes a little bit. So maybe we can take a break on this, but like I think the deck is still fun. Like, I think it's definitely a little bit more playable with Rootbound now, especially makes the Earth Shell a little bit better. But I think just like Jarl in general just has like some kind of rougher matchups right now. Like, even like Huntsman's not amazing. I think Huntsman's like fine though. It's like probably playable. And like Marionette's also not that great. So like, I don't know. I feel like this deck just like kind of needs a little bit of love to kind of like figure out like what exactly the best build looks like. But I think this is like pretty close. I also want to try out like the Fiddlers for Marionette. I think that card's pretty good. Every Victor I play versus has like fucking like 3 Staunch and 3 Fates. Yeah. We played against a really funny Victor list that was just like full-on Fatigue Victor, triple Remembrance, visit the Golden Estate, which is pretty much the nightmare for this deck, which is funny. Aggro was streaming not too long before you were. He was just talking about Sludge versus Beater. He prefers Sludge because you do need Haste Shield in those matchups where you play Sludge, or he prefers Sledge because do you need Ice Shield in those matchups where he plays? I think that's a good point, right? Like, you don't really need Ice Shield all that much. Like, it's nice against, like, E-Strike or something, like, random, but, like, a lot of those decks, like, don't have Go again. Like, the decks where you, like, just want to play Sledge anyways. So I think that's, like, a pretty compelling point is, like, do you actually need Shield Beater? Like, I don't think you actually want to run Shield Beater very much into aggro, or at least it seems kind of bad to me. But that's kind of like my initial thoughts on Jarl. I think at some point, Rob and I are maybe gonna get together and do like a little budget Jarl kind of deck, like do like $100, $200, $500 thing. So we still need to put that video together. But I think there's definitely some room here for like I think this deck is like B tier in my mind. But maybe it gets better if people like kind of salt the deck or maybe include some spicy cards. For Jarl on Team Sledge, yeah, that seems pretty good. I think Sledge is pretty good personally. I'm a Sledge defender, not as someone who's I guess invested in gold foil Sledge, which I got from my
You're invested. You opened it. That's not
I invested in myself to win the Pro Quest, and then I opened it. That's an investment, right?
That's not what an investment.
Tegan doesn't know investments. That's fine. It's so awesome that Felling makes a budget Jarl deck these days. I know that's so like so cool. But anyways, we'll probably like put together like a little bit of budget Jarl content because I know people tend to like that as well. But anyways, thank you all for stopping by. Sorry that Talishar kind of crapped out in the end. I kind of think the Teklo actually probably would have won that last game for what it's worth. So maybe there's still some work to kind of be done on the Teklo matchup. Your team Shield Beater. I think Shield Beater makes a bit more sense in Victor. I will say that. It just doesn't feel like it's as impactful in Jarl, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, thank you all for stopping by. I'm going to probably go drop off and maybe just hang out with Tegan for a little bit. But yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts on Jarl in the comments or whatever. And I'll see y'all later. So I think Wednesday we're probably going to do Marlin. I think I'm going to try the New Horizons thing out. I'm just going to try Chandler's List. And then on Friday, I think we're going to do like the Marlin Council video. So that'll be really exciting. Anyways, thank you all for stopping by. And I'll see y'all next time.